Okay, I finally got it working, guys. Yes. So this is basically the first thing you guys are gonna be seeing on your screen. A basic Roblox page studio. So these are the type of like preview templates you have. Movie simulator, Mansion of Wonders, concert, comeback. It's like pre-built games for you, and obviously the Obby script. So, but we're gonna be making our own. Okay. So let's get right into base plate. Not the classic one. You guys can choose whatever. It doesn't matter. So once we're in here, we're gonna like resize everything. All right. So this is what you're gonna be greeted with when you first join in, start up a base plate game. Properties tab, explore. If you don't have this tab open, go to view right up here. Click on properties. It's right next to each other. You can click on them. You can also move them. Like it gives you like different positions in your screen, so you can know where you can. Like, it's just if you don't want it there, but it's just best to have it on your sides, so you have like a wider screen. So let's start off clean, like fresh. Nothing in our way. So let's delete. Go to workspace and click on spawn location and base plate, and just delete it right up here. So this is a complete beginner's guide to how to make an obby, like completely beginners. So this is the workspace. This is where all the parts, all the buildings, anything that's going to be visible in your game is going to be here. Like the player will be able to interact with. So what we're going to do is insert a part right here next to toolbox. It's going to be a little part. Click on it once and it'll like render a part already in your game. Okay, so we got a part. These are our little tools right here. We have move, scale, and rotate. Moving is pretty straightforward. You can move it left to right. Scaling is also the same thing. Make the part big or small, or whichever size you want. Rotate, it's pretty straightforward. You can rotate it. It's a rotating tool. Also, yeah, you can click Control-Z and it's like a shortcut to like undo. I'll just give you that tip. So first thing we gotta do is make sure it's anchored, because if it isn't, this will happen.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yeah, there it goes. So make sure it's anchored, so like it just stays in place. Like you can see this now, it's not gonna fall down into void. Just resize this however like the size you want. So we're gonna make like the base part. So this is the property tab. I'm gonna explain this for a second. Appearance, brick color, if it wants to cast a shadow, color, like more specific colors you guys want. The material, reflectance, transparency is like whether you want the part to like make it kind of be like where you can see through it, or just make it completely invisible. Just put 1 in it, but for now we're gonna put 0. Locked, which is meaning I can't click on it in my screen, like in the game. I want to go to the workspace, click on the part, and then unlock it, and then I'll be able to just grab it like that. Transformation, this is the size, so if we're gonna want it like evenly, 13, and then we're just gonna round this up to 1. Now it's 13 studs. I think that's how they measure it. Can't collide, can't touch. This means like the player can't collide with it or not, if they can touch it or not. Anchored, and a bunch of other properties that you can mess with past this. You can mess with any of these. Play around with this so you can like kind of get used to the layout and used to all the tools and what they do. I'd recommend you just touching stuff. Obviously not in your game, but like make a separate game where you could just do a bunch of random stuff, because that kind of like builds practice for you. So then you get used to the layout of the studio and everything. So then you already know like automatically where everything is faster. Okay, so we have a part. We could rename this base, and then we're gonna get our spawn location. This thing is huge, so we're gonna have to resize it. Okay, so that's gonna be where we're gonna spawn. Next, let's get a reference so we don't make our obby big or small. Okay, there. Alright, so this is our character, right? So this is the base part, obviously. So we're gonna duplicate this, Control-D, or you guys can just right click and just duplicate it manually. You duplicate it, you see it duplicates in workspace, so you can just drag it out and just use it. Okay, so we're gonna be making the checker stage. Let's switch this to 1 stud. Move is like how many studs it'll be able to move. So I place it to 1 right now. So this is how it's gonna move, like kind of like separated distance a little bit. 1 stud of distance. If we put 0.5, it's gonna be 0.5 distance. 0.1 gonna be less distance. Okay, so we're gonna put 1 stud, and we're gonna make the checkered obby, which is like the checkerboard. Okay, so let's change the color to this. So let's make it blue. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna just do this, okay? It doesn't matter. Alright, so this is gonna be our kill. Alright, so this is when the player steps on it, he's gonna die. He's just gonna die. Okay, so that's what we're gonna need. So we're gonna place a script in there. Name this kill script. This is gonna be a free model for you guys, so like it'll be a lot easier for you guys, but you guys can follow the tutorial. It's gonna be a link in the description if you guys need. So let's continue. So we're gonna make the checker thing, the checker box. So alright, so this is, I'm just gonna grab this and then we're gonna copy paste it a couple of times. Alright, so this is our first lobby. We already have it done, you see? It's pretty easy, like it's not really that hard. So the second base, alright, perfect. Let's move on to our next game, which we're going to take a base part for this obby, and you can see like this is already cluttering up the workspace. So let's just grab all the parts and then group them right here, this button right here, and then now it's a group. So now we can move it without selecting all the parts. It's all just one obby. So we're going to call this stage 1. Alright, let's move on to stage 2. Also, another tip for you guys can click control, try to resize this part, and it's going to resize both ends at the same time. Okay, so going to the second stage, we're going to make another simple stage where it's going to be like the character is going to be like going through the doors. Okay, like he's gonna have to try to avoid the doors so he won't take damage. So we're gonna get a kill block, we're gonna duplicate it, Control D, drag it to the workspace, out the group, click the moving, and just drag it out space right there. And there, now we have it out. So let's just create the little doors now. Make sure we get the right size. Control D, then resize it. Okay, this is perfect. Let's make sure it's not touching the head. Perfect. Alright, so we're moving back. So this is gonna be our first door. Okay, so we're gonna group this. I'm gonna select it, or you guys can say control and then click on the parts individually in the workspace. That would also work, and then group it. We call this door 1. Alright, so control D and then control R to rotate it, and then you guys can repaint this to whichever color you guys want. Control D, make control D again, drag it, control D. Okay, and then there, second stage is already done. Like, it's that simple. Control D, drag it, third stage. Since this is for like, I'm doing this tutorial so you guys can have like an easier understanding on like the tools and how everything works, resizing, some like tips on like the keybinds for you guys, like transparency, and like I'm trying to like give you guys an idea on how to use all these basic tools in Studio. Okay, so we're gonna make one of those like little like line obbies. I don't know what they call them, but we're gonna do that right now.
As you can see here, I'm very creative. Like, look at this. This is a masterpiece right here. Just takes like 0.001% is going to be able to make that jump. Like, it's going to be hard, okay?
Alright, so this is our obby right here. And if we want, we could grab a kill block. So we're just going to duplicate it, drag it to the workspace, drag it out like we did, and we can add them in the path. So like the players, it would just be like a little harder. And if you guys don't want them this thick, just remember you guys can always play with this setting and you guys can like rescale it. But for now, I'm gonna keep it how it was. I'm just telling you guys if you guys want to make it thinner or this thick, for the player can jump over it. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. Alright, so that's gonna be our last final stage, because I'm just trying to give you guys the idea on how you guys can use Studio about everything works, how everything's developed, just a simple idea, okay? Now, checkpoints. I'll link the checkpoints down in the description so you guys have some checkpoints to use in your game. Alright, so we have the checkpoints. They have the script in them already, so don't worry about it. You guys can copy paste it on all the stages. Make sure they're anchored. And there. Gotta move this guy away. Alright, now let's test it. Okay, so we're in the game. Let's play the Obby that we just made. Let's take damage. Yep. Okay, so we touched the first checkpoint. We're almost there. See how hard that was, guys? Like, that's really hard to pass. Like, see how careful you have to be around these things? Alright, second. That's the third one. Okay, so. Damn, see, that was easy. That was really simple. Okay. Alright. So, that was pretty much it right now for the entire video. Just to give you guys an idea on how everything works, basics, so you guys really just don't start off zero, because I know it can be scary when you guys see everything, like what is import 3D, what is toolbox, what is editor, what is avatar, what is test, what is view, what is plugins. I'll be covering most of this stuff in my channel, okay, so in future videos. Don't worry about it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments, like any new video ideas or what you guys want to know about what subject. If you guys want me to explain, just let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in something else. Or if this was too easy, or if you guys want something more advanced, just let me know, okay? Alright, I'll see you guys in another video.